Hello. How is everyone doing? How's the world? Welcome to Cricklewood, the neighborhood that needs to be known from Hollywood, where everybody crickles. I don't know. It's just kind of like trying. I want to read some of these cards. Some of these cards. Each of these cards. This is for character development. So when we make a page, one of the tendencies I made is character under development. Because some people just want to make all the coding very fast, and not everyone role plays with the same skills, and sometimes you change the season because you want to learn other things, investigate other things. Just there is so much to learn that you can't get stuck with anything really, and there gets a point where you keep moving. So I've always emphasized with building character more than just building your website. Like, study your character more than decorating your website, even though the domain of the character is like magic when you put all these beautiful things, the images, the gifs, the colors, the pop-outs, the connections, and there's a lot of more things that I'm not going to share today. Well, congratulations to everyone who is celebrating for their own reasons, celebrating sometimes with penance, because there has been a lot that is being kind of like it's not that people who are sadists like to enjoy while making others suffering. It's kind of like some people have like a compensation from all that pain that's been built to get through some matter. And in the way, when you find out that there has been something underneath, hidden and shown to you, and you're going like, whoa! This brings meaning to my story because I can link it to my story and it's aligned. So let's keep on. Woo! I have my shawl here because today I feel lazy to dress and all this. Oh, well, it doesn't fit well, but because these glasses are good for short distance, and these ones are a little bit too annoying because of is so these are character traits, and this is one is the polarity of the other one, the opposite, like with the batteries that create that energy, right? So if you are attached to that contrast, you get hooked like that. So yeah, this one is book shy, and the opposite is bookish. So each one has a positive and a negative. For example, like it's like that, right? So it's really cool. Whoever wants to buy them, it's from the School of Life. You can find it at theschooloflife.com. It's made in England from a philosopher and professor of university, and he does a lot of speech here in London, and they have a store as well with a lot of cool things. Philosophy, psychology. So, bookish, a plus, a rich set of ideas and words to interpret themselves and you with. A well-stocked mind. You want to make love to their soul, not just their body. Minus, I guess, negative, right? A sign of an unconfident, pedantic mind that needs constant guidance from the words of others. Privilege the ideas of others over their own. We'll tell you in a bit too much detail what X or Y author said. Looks like my father. Book shy, usefully unimpressed by cultural elite, intuitive and spontaneous. Doesn't matter what 2,000 years of cultural history was about. It is you that matters, a relief from the dead ends of introspection. Introspection. That's a mudra of introspection. Mudras are a language of the hands for the Buddhists and the dances of the Hindus and in the theaters in China. They will hide with long sleeves the hand, because it would from the novel which is hidden like that in the theater. So it would be a translation as well as they would do the theater with the mudras. So this is inside Antar, introspection. To not allow all the energy burning out there, like that. Fire. Fire. Well, that is a positive. The negative of the book shy is loneliness when you read them a bit of poetry, lack of soul, won't be able to read the book of you. Bit thick. Well, normally in my tender space, when I am like really alone, I can trust to be in that space of sweet divine, sweet as morphine. It's very tender. So, whoa, that was amazing. I've been very moved with the discourse of Putin. I'm very moved. So, well, that was a very intense discourse. I've been noting nearly everything because of interest. Very interesting. And I thought he would talk about spirituality. And it's been really cool to. I mean, of course, it will need those steps, zigzag, because the reality of the other doesn't mean it might be like it's a fantasy because it's not your reality. It's like, no, it's what is their world, what they were saying from a parallel world. So it hasn't made yet to the I don't know if this is a mudra, right? But something like we're also different. It's quite complex. all this diversity and at the same time understanding the world vision. Not everyone has a vision when you are dealing with complex, very complex patterns that move from here and there. For example, these flips, yeah. Sometimes these traits, character traits, that could be opposite. They can flip and also twist like that. Yeah, meaning that positive and negative can shift. Oh, this one. Threesomes can help a couple stay together. And the opposite is threesomes are always a disaster. I don't know. So the one of threesomes are always a disaster. Negative. They have learned not to take risks with things people they really care about, mature enough to see there's a big difference between a fantasy and actually doing something. And the negative, quick to get jealous, possessive, like defiant. Are they keeping part of their sexuality hidden from you? Threesomes, the opposite. Threesomes can help a couple stay together. Well, I mean, I can talk days and hours and have a good performance for jokes about this because these are type of jokes that I deliver at work in the private, not before the customers. We'll look very serious and like just happy to serve. We make team, right? So it's to celebrate. Jokes are to celebrate. I always then return and say, "Don't believe me. It's a joke, right?" Because that's if the ones that are 3 years with me, they are joke already, and they know it's a joke. But I joke a lot about threesomes because it's funny. Threesomes can help a couple stay together. I mean, I don't think so. I think threesomes are good for strangers who goes. In 2022, people don't have the capacity to maintain so much love because if you are breaking through a highest, you are meant to go down to your lowest. This is mechanics, all right? Like if you really get to define that both exist, no matter how much you want to control it. So it is very easy to be an observer and talk over. And another thing is to come with a good story after you just made a war and just clean your hands and say, I can win a Nobel Prize like a president in the United States did. You know, he won a Peace Nobel Prize. That was very smart. And just keep it cool. That's a good storyteller. I was like, no wonder he stayed in power for so long and so many people there in Russia. Watching this Russian guy on YouTube, he's so funny. Because he's in Georgia and he's a YouTuber. He doesn't talk bad about Russia, but he kind of explains what's going on and makes fun of himself and the situation. And like it's a little too much for him, but he's young and funny and he I mean, he had to get out because he had all his followers, and that's how he cashes from YouTube. So just these things affect people. I mean, um, this has been very fun. It's not funny because it's a tragedy, but one tries to have fun out of it, and it's like a mirror in another from another reflection of what tragedies can turn to be, and you have to make like just a joke out of it. So, oh, threesomes are always a disaster. Threesomes help a couple stay together. Well, maybe because if the person after the third person goes away, because suppose that there was a couple there before, they start to make love like they're better than the third person. So they enjoyed it, but later they get more of a hard on or sexed up. Um, Nothing against the third person that's been triangulated. It's just a continuation of another chapter in their story to not have it boring. Some men want their partner to prove their love by their force, so it's not nice because they are not. No, not every woman is for that. That's why many male gays exist, because women can be very boring. Like unless is one in, it's not like one in a million, but one, yeah, maybe one in South. And I don't know those statistics. As in Norway, oh, for those women who work like nurses, I guess first generation, yeah, first generation. You have to see the many generations with the statistics. Because if you were raised with this make believe, it's normal you will think in this make believe, right? So those statistics would follow that pattern, unless there is a sexual revolution. Threesomes can help a couple stay together. Well, I guess for a few months or years, but if people are very young. But I think it's if you're too old, it's not. There's some rules for certain things, like um, it has to be kind of like exotic when people are young, or they want to experience life. That's what my parents said. Both said, "Go enjoy your life. Don't do it when you're old." That's what some people get divorced and they want to enjoy life, but they're already old. So it is beautiful if people can enjoy their life regardless. Yeah. So that brings a lot of compassion when you have enjoyed your life a lot. You allow others to enjoy their life however they wish, even if they get angry. So well, just refreshing myself from all this news and all the serial killer documentaries that I watch. There's some cool. They're very cool. These two guys who narrate the stories. One is from United Kingdom and the other one is from United States. I think they're both well, they're both like little but cute. They tell the story like like it's really bad to do that, but at the same time like can't help you can't help you can't help making these videos or watching them because there is something dark in it that we still connect with. So Oh, the negative about the threesome that can help a couple stay together. Oh, the positive. Reassuring, overt, willing to be unconventional to solve problems. Oh, like if you're gonna go do that just to solve a problem, that what a lack of imagination. Will explore your whole erotic self. I think people shouldn't think too much when they go to the things that are just for the body and to spirit up. Uh, Minus the negative, has trouble being cozy, properly intimate. Might prefer number 3 to you. I guess the number 3 would be an expert normally, because escalation worries, unless you're with a good professional. A foursome can help a couple. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good card to pull out to talk about things in a private. It opens your imagination. Like, you want to write stories that are fun for you. That's why I don't share my stories, because they're a lot of fun. And I don't want to be known by my stories, because they are just for my fun, my own fascinations. Woo! Still fizzy. Still fizzy. Still fizzy. Fizzy. Fizzy is like, I guess, like, right? Bring a lot of energy to tasks. Enthusiastic. Fun conversationalist. Don't let awkward silences build up. The negative is that exhausting, will keep wanting to be jolly when you are ready to see the somber side. Their excitement, their excitement starts to feel like attention seeking. Still, I guess that goes for the category of the psychopaths. They're still steady in a crisis. They can amuse themselves. Very noble. How they don't need to be the star of the show. Reliable. Well, I mean, even people have traits from all over. Actually, I had 4 psychiatrists, not 5, so that's why I always say don't believe me, because there's something always. I'm making stories, or I have it wrong with numbers, or another story, it was West, it was not. I mixed the West and East because of the dyslexia as well. So the octopus is related with dyslexia. So how is wired the mind of a dyslexic person is like fighting with an octopus, which is like just draining yourself down. Is fighting with an octopus if you're swimming is there's a saying for that. Fighting with an octopus. Like, why would you? Well, it's like just try. It will just make you just drain. Like, because if you want to fight, you what you need to do is just get out of the water. Unless don't fight with an octopus. That's all. But it's related to how difficult it is for a child to struggling with its own mind in a world which is straight. So I was lucky. to have good parents, good education, and I always thought how my private teacher had so much patience with me. And I always wish to honor them. My teachers, my private teacher, who was later, so it's very interesting to see how each wire doesn't interfere with the other ones and it can just operate by its own, like multitasking or having multiple fragments of cybermetrics or cliometrics, which are historical movements. Cliometrics from the muse, Clio, the muse of history. So it's very interesting to note that you can understand how complex it can be, something that is so global, and a good storyteller that is always having its mind in a larger map, that where you have an important piece as a head, as a person which represents that. It didn't come from one day to another. You thought you were just going to do this and then not doing that. So it takes a lot to keep your cool and maintain still with the story, which people around the world are gonna need to digest and like display that, respond to Putin in how old is this? I guess I don't know, maybe 3 months or before Christmas. I don't know, because it's about others. The negative about being still, sometimes maddeningly reserved, inert. You'll want to kick them to get a reaction. Never impressed, even by what's impressive. So, well, those are character traits. I don't take things personal because I had so many characters I've been fighting all all my life. So it's just because it's fun. It's fun fighting, but just like goofing around on internet and fighting, like, or just fighting just to win, just fighting to many times just losing. I had to think how to lose. That was very hard. It was very hard. Very hard. How can you lose and at the same time keep it like interesting? So they play again. Well, I think that's a lot already. So yeah, from the 4 psychiatrists that I love to go, and I really love psychiatrists because they taught me a lot, and even though it's part of role play to study psychiatric traits and the best characters you can do for fun, for to allow your to exaggerate with the arts, the form of arts is the it makes it more peculiar and interesting to trigger your own self with something that you don't know why you're doing this, but it's fun. So if it can bring joy to others as well, and they can have a little laughter or tickle them a little bit and be a little more like wanting to hug the story because they also feel like that trait. So many psychiatrists, I think they all ask me, I guess they learned that in the university at the end of the first sessions, they say, what do you think you have? Oh, I have 5 because there was one for a trial. It was forensic psychiatrist. So they all ask, but that was just 1 hour. They all ask, what do you think you have? And I think I could have everything because I love all the traits from mental illness and I can interpret them as the writer. I'm getting first person and they're like, no. And they like that idea as well. To be part of their, it's like part of their studies, but it's like they keep it professional, of course. It's not ethical. As part of their profession, they're just there to note. It's like they have studied that and they will do that until they die because it's against their system of belief. So I went to 4 psychiatrists, and the first 3, none of them has written that I have OCPD or OCD. And the last one, I wanted to convince him that I had something so I could have Alderen because I needed to rewrite the rules of role play and I wanted to have my mind focused and clear. And I think it's a good drug, but I never got drugs from, not in Canada, not in Madrid, not in Spain, not in London. So it is good to take sometimes. I had taken for when I was pregnant the last 3 months because my hormones and the situation I was economically and with, and I prayed for the doctor to please give me something to calm down because I was having, like, I was just this, I wanted to have everything safe for my baby. So my doctor helped me and that was very nice to ask for help and have someone there. So I was very grateful to have a good pregnancy thanks to those last 3 months. So he gave me very little. So it is good to understand that we all can have moments. It's part of life, especially if you're intense, you're going through unstable and you are aware that no matter what, you have to get through it. So some people like to have everything established and everything secure, and they think to be better than others by insulting them. But some are here for a reason, and That is when you really, you know, the in the world of espionage, it's not like in the movies where oh yeah, like mm, you become part of the other. So at the same time, you have to be part of where you belong. So it's not really that you're compartmentalized, as they try to explain some agents. I guess there are categories for everything, even in espionage. Um, you will always have that as part of you. Every memory will never go away. So it's part of you already. You can't take it out of your system. Um, one can ignore it, or one can build a story with it. So some people really think from above for what's better for what they represent, because they know very well what they represent. It reminds me listening to Putin when Osho, enlightened master in India, that my mother loves dearly, and she took me there to India for 3 years. The multi university, an ashram, they call a guru, but he didn't like to be called a guru, he liked to be called a friend. I was lucky to have many friends. So he said every master needs to be jealous with his own disciples so they can grow up together, and he's creating this Buddha field so they can grow with their enlightenment. They have to talk bad about the other and not any other master that is enlightened, because in India there are many, could be many gurus, masters. Is a very spiritual land for with no judgment for spiritual beliefs. Any crazy person can be have followers, because nobody condemns whatever religion they could make up and beliefs. They make their own rituals. So it is a land that has most religions in the world, in India, and it has that mystery in the air, that magic. You have to be there to know India. India is to love India, is to have been in India, and you can't see that in a cover magazine or no matter what people tell you. And there have been a lot of people who have been in India from around the world just to go for spirituality. Is going to another world full of colors and smells. The flowers are so cheap that your house is always a celebration. With Osho, you even dance under the petals because they're throwing them from bags and bags of petals, and people just come there to meditate, celebrate, and work unconditionally. So nobody's there after money or power. Or they're just there to take responsibility of their own feelings and just be free and explore, or go deeper into silence, or all of it, or maybe get to learn something as well. work, enjoy the ordinary things of life. And the time goes very fast there, and the quality of life is in a higher dimension, absolutely, because you are with a lot of love from everyone. And the Enlightened Master makes that thing around where everyone is just in love to be there. And everybody gets sad when they have to go. What are you gonna do to return? And they do that. But after the master died. So Osho told this story about the masters have to be sometimes very jealous and keep their tribe together, and they have to tell them things, but it's for their own benefit, to keep them apart from the others, because it can cause, it is not healthy to go from, it's good to just have one loyalty, one master, one your own belief, so you can just break through that. If you have too many, you're not total. So without that totality, you cannot overcome that. You are still kind of like little from here, but not really, and a little from there, just to put here, but you're not really like diving full into it and surrendering. So it is like when you will fight for your nation. You're a patriot, and whatever the king, the queen, the leader says is what it is. Doesn't matter. You love your country so much. You love your leader so much. That whatever what is said, you love your nation, and you're all together, and you will keep fighting. So even if there are other things that eventually will come to more sense and creativity and abundance, whatever was necessarily or not, whatever happened, what can we do? We can help one another. So, and get to mourn and go deep into what has been destroyed, because it's part of the actuality, only in the present actuality, okay, one can really part from that. And that is beautiful to celebrate, even if it's a little harsh. But it's kind of like, wow. So, I mean, everyone will keep having all their stories and all these things, and people will still be dragging with problems, but eventually they'll get to manage in their own, because I mean, in every group you have people that, some people have problems, yeah, and then everyone gets judged for that, right? Because somebody did this or wrote that, and they keep saying this, and so, it's like, oh well, sorry, there were only 2 pedophiles here left, so they're too old to put them in jail now. It's just, and I don't know really who it is. I just know it's true. So when I was thinking about the problems where people like to generalize and judge everyone, instead of doing the work, because that is where the solutions come forward. When you have that paper in your hand, the wood, you're seeing the plaster is moving, and canvas here and the canvas there, and people are showing their work through their canvas and their windows, and they're getting to get all this influence of being inspired with one another into their own. One thing is that this happens because they follow fashion, not that I am going to teach you how you are going. No, you just have a program, that's it, and people pick whatever they want. Or they do it because they want to try. This is the problem with virtual reality. And I can say it again and again. It's not by publicity. It will never work by publicity. So you can keep losing billions of dollars if you want and have nobody investing on it. It's more delicate than just a Facebook or a TikTok because it's fun, but it's kind of acceptable. People, they're still immature when it comes to imagination and becoming responsible of building their own stories without having to name other people or having all this, because it's fake. It is as watching a movie or being a writer, but both. You're watching a movie from others, but at the same time you're creating yours with others. So there is this is, I know people want to sell money and make a lot of money, and they see things and people like products, and it is okay. I cannot say like that because that is not my field of expertise. So yeah. So I mean, I really wish for the world to enjoy for the best and get to have fun with all this. So it gets easy going. There's a lot of beautiful people out there. I can't wait to see the transport becomes green energy, because there are so many people that wish to travel and do things and invest with their money and get to invest in somewhere that they're working and they know they have a mansion into a village. Any person that works in a McDonald's supermarket with their partner can make their own mansion into a village. That would be so fantastic just to see they're making happy with other people and dancing, learning to dance with the drums, being with the mosquitoes, enjoying the beautiful generosity of nature. Singing around the fire, telling stories. So, in my boarding school in Devon, England, we had a storyteller who came, and I would love to share this because that's something unique in England, and they're still alive, these storytellers. And in the old time, they were and still they would go from place to place telling stories, and in houses in towns, and they were all gathered together, and is a tradition. So today I was listening to Stephen Fry telling us, reading his own book of heroes, and I was just laughing so much. What a I mean, what it has. This is very. In Scotland too, they have these things with stories. They get very into character, very theatrical. So it comes to reason. So well, the whoever wants to do a hologram, it can be seen through 3D. I need to share a website, but the website is about Subnonymous. My brain. So each word moves accordingly, and you can click and click on it. But this needs to be like 3D, because one needs to see when one is mediating with others in real life. If you want to do good and get to a point, you have that overwhelming evidence and you want to give it so they can make something good that is real, but it's still like fiction to the other side, so might be a fantasy for others, right? But you have all the evidences, right? So they might be tapping around it and kind of like yes, no, yes, no. So there are all these words around that one needs to define in storytelling. I know from role play that how, because there are many stories coming from the sides and it's very fast as well. And sometimes you just be working and thinking about what and composing while you're just working something that is just physical, or not just writing or just creating content, but you're composing before. And because you want, well, a good role player doesn't want to be the headline. A good role player wants the story to move on. Yeah. A good role player doesn't need to make 40 chapters, 50 chapters. A good role player will make one chapter and it will roll. It will roll. Sometimes in a continuous time, it will just keep rolling forever and immortalize the story. So, and people still talk like that. They maybe don't know why, but because of all these elements that were brought together, but from all the sides. The multidimensional storyline, all right? Multidimensional because you have people from the right, people from the left, people that have tendency from both, that more or less these traits can zigzag and dance even in one single person. It's like, so maybe they were not, but their father was, or their mother, and there is a discontinuation, but now it's in the other side. So many generations, and because of this and that. So there is a lot of, even in a single group that belongs to that, and is not going to kill each other because of what they are still holding for first to take care. So to take care of what is yours. Yeah, so that is obviously the most important core that maintains you alive. Take care of yourself and all that which Is that you, with your family, you will never just betray your family or talk bad about your family. Things like that, right? So somebody is doing something bad, you try to fix it, and sometimes it's just part of the family. It's kind of, what can you do? Some people feel affected and they want to fight because they have they feel hurt, their ego feels insulted. So there are moments where people need to fight, but there are people in this world that were born to fight, and they're just having fun. And sometimes you have to come out because there's something important, and you know you're a good player, but you have to come out because you did it for fun, you did it for love, you did it because 24/7. So you got to go out there to share it. You gotta go there because sometimes it's too tough. It's very easy when one is not there. So that's received with a lot of respect. And I know no matter what people say, no matter what people say, it's the nature of order. Because the rules of role play have a natural order. It's not that it's because I order it. It's the rules. These rules come from other people as well, Dungeons and Dragons and movements, but there are patterns of movements that occur again and again and again and again and again. So they are scientifically proven. They are cannot. I have I have to give them so they are legally proven. Yeah, they're legally proven. Yeah, that I drop this and it falls down, and we can argue this forever. And I know it. The thing is that you can just try to convince me. You don't see it. So I will try to find some glasses or anything that is possible, or anyone other can find something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. So in the real life, things are slow. This is the thing between, and I observe now in this year, because I had to come out to mediate for the to hey, what's happening with this? Can you return to role play and help me with this? Because they've been there, please. And then, oh, I didn't know it was you. I think some people are tying the knots together and some clues. Who is this? I'm not doing this. Somebody's doing this. And everyone is doing their part. So in a virtual way, like the mind in dreams go very fast. So it does in internet in a mental level. And in virtual reality with stories that you recreate with all the arts and coding as well. Not necessarily you can just get designs from here and there, whatever. And in the real life, if things are slow, in the future it's going to be also faster. But I do not expect people from today to be as fast. Yeah, like even when you are still in silence, in deep, like I know you're not going to do what I said. I'm just letting you know that, I had told you this, I gave you that, because I am showing you that psychology, judging people for their traits and thinking that you know better, that's going to end. Yeah, we need to learn these things. People are just learning to express themselves, not to really like role play. They are just copying, and they're copying and elaborating, and they just follow what is popular, and what is good, what is bad. It's like even what was it? Whoopi Goldberg talking bad about Meghan Markle because she was talking bad about a TV show where she was welcome to work. And I really love when people don't take it personally because they are black or a woman, or they just see people as they are, not because just generalize. Right? In Cricklewood, everyone crickles around here, a lot of chit chat. That's why I return here, and it's a lot of fun to talk with my neighbors, just walking and or say hi again to the same faces. That familiarity. Um, to many, I say, just don't think that everyone who was born in my country is like me. It's like I'm gonna think that no, because they want to judge. Oh, you're nice because you're not white. So I never say where I am from, even though it's kind of obvious. Um, it is beautiful to feel that happiness that people are being taught because they're an individual person in my neighborhood. Yeah, so when you are sharing a work together, when you are sharing a neighborhood, like when they ask me where I am from, um, I am a Cricklewoodian, and they are like, like oh, because I say with a lot of honor, like aren't you? And I said once we are here, it's never the same. It's like yeah, we can't stop crickling, can't we? And it's true because you can return. Another part of London is like in Cricklewood. Um, is something that is just it's not really like London here. This is like all parts of the world. Sometimes like you're walking through Africa, or it's nearly through a zoo. Sometimes it's cute and cool, and sometimes nasty, and it's tender. So we keep crickling because we have a lot to crickle about. Um, it's always the same day, so it's safe. That's another thing that brings us together because we are safe here in London. Many of the people that are here are not for holiday or because they went for a dream. Many went because they want to be safe. So I do wish immigration to stop because the countries need their people. It's hard because you're taking nurses from other countries, doctors, making other countries. Um, well, I'm very happy they are doing the program for all the money to run through, so everyone can get the money to do everything they want, and it's a form of learning of what is credit and who is working for this, and everything is noted, and people learn administration to have fun, to look in prices, and to keep track of what they do and who is who. That takes a lot of accountability. I wanted to talk about accountability because it was funny when Rishi talked about accountability, because he's an accountant. I mean, he worked with banks, he worked with numbers, he might have other career, something like that. So it is not bad to take accountability because you are always counting and you moving with what you got there, and that's keeping your stock. It's very good to restock the stock and get to appreciate everything that you have. It's something the what they do in McDonald's, and it's very funny because, and my mother too would walk with the board, doing all the stock there. And when I walk through some stores and say, "Is everything under control?" and they're like, "Yeah." It's kind of fun. It's fun to work, see people working. I always go to defend people that are working because some people can be nasty. Because I am a client too, or customer. You can see the people that don't work don't respect people who work, or they have earned what they have, right? Something like peculiar there. It's something, or they just started their dream, but they kind of like don't feel the reality of it. So it's not much memory in their body, so they need that dream that has come true, but it's sometimes a gift that you are there for that. So no one can take you away from what you're doing. For the news in the world, it's very interesting for journalists to keep journaling what's going on. It's fascinating to see how everyone is reporting the map, the people of Ukraine. I was thinking like, wow, all these people that have fight and died, and what is it gonna happen as these chapters like continue, because I don't have nothing in my life, so I am giving to this story, and I feel peace already. So I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating already in my little world. So that's it. That's it. I'm gonna keep drawing circles and coloring in my agenda, and a little drawing inside there. So wishing that the children in my neighborhood are happy with the decorations that I did for them. I can't wait to give them their candy, and that my children are also feeling excited and happy, and that know that others care as well, the ones who are close to them, strangers, and eventually they'll get to meet me again, which is true love forever. So I do have a lot of true love for the work and the symphony of life, and all those who are capable of creating out of this resurrection. Let's put it that way in a Halloween context. Bye.